In this video, I'm going to show you how to install VLAN using Cisco switches. Virtual Local Area Network, or VLAN, is a way to create or divide the local area network or LAN into a smaller logical network or segment. Usually, each VLAN should have its own subnet, or we call it network. There are many reasons why we should create a VLAN. Two of the reasons are to reduce the domain broadcast and heighten security. So let's begin. Assuming that a company has two buildings, called building 10 and building 20, and the company divide the building 10 for the business office and building 20 for sales department. So we have a business department and sales department. Now the owner does not want the PC or the computer in the business department to access to the PC in the sales department, and vice versa. Unfortunately, there's one PC or one office in the sales departments that belong to the business department or belong to VLAN 10. And there also one PC or one office in the business department that belong to the sales department. So what we have to do to accomplish that, we need to create two VLAN. Call it the VLAN 10 for the business department and VLAN 20 for the sales department. The subnet for the VLAN 10 is 10.1.10.0 and the subnet for the VLAN 20 is 10.1.20.0. Now since they are mismatched office in each building, we need to reserve port 1 all the way to 20 on these switches for VLAN 10, and we need to reserve 4 ports starting from port 21 through 24 for VLAN 20 on these switches, and the same thing true for this size right here. We need to reserve port 1 through port 20 for VLAN 20 and port 21 to port 24 for VLAN 10. Okay, so this switch right here, I'm going to call this SW1, and this switch right here SW2. Alright, so let's begin to create our VLAN. Click on the switch 1 and click on the CLI, enable to get to the privilege mode. These are the commands to create a VLAN. Okay, now since there's going to be two VLAN accessible to the switch, we have to create two VLAN on these switches. Compt VLAN 10, that's the number of the VLAN. Name that VLAN, we're going to call that business, and exit. Then we need to create another one called VLAN 20. Well, before we do that, let me show you something very quick. Show VLAN brief. Notice that at this point there's only the VLAN 10 business and the default VLAN, which is VLAN 1. Okay, this is the default VLAN. The one that I just created is called VLAN 10 for business, and all of the ports right now are assigned to the default VLAN 1. Okay, alright, so let me go ahead and create the VLAN 20, okay, and name that sales. Alright, do show VLAN. Okay, notice now I create another VLAN, call it VLAN 20. Now what we need to do, these are the command that I just used. We need to assign an IP address to this switch right here for the VLAN 10. Okay, so to do that, we need to get out in here, interface VLAN 10. It is a virtual interface. It's not a true port. Okay, it's a virtual interface VLAN 10. So I type interface VLAN 10 right here. Then IP address 10.1.10.1.255.255.255.0. And what is the next command? No shut, always. Okay, do show run. Alright, notice now I have successfully created the IP address for this VLAN 10. This IP address will become the default gateway for all of the VLAN 10. Okay, for all of the computer on the VLAN 10 or in the business department. Alright, so we need to do the same thing for the other switches. Make sure show VLAN brief. Okay, alright, before we do that, we need to assign the port to this VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Notice we said we will need to reserve port 1 all the way to 20 for VLAN 10. So how do we do that? We are using these commands right here. Okay, interface port number, or either interface range begin with port number, ending port number. So let's begin. Comp T interface app 0/1. I need to get into that port, or we call it the access port. Okay, and I need to do switch port. Okay, mode access. The next command, switch port access what? VLAN 10. Okay, so these commands right here. Now they are total of 20 port that I have to go through, so I have to type each one of these. That would be too much work. So there's another command that I can use, interface range. Okay, app 0/2 all the way through 20. So that said that I need to configure all of the port at one time. Press enter. Okay, notice that it's the range. So switch port, up arrow key. Okay, mode access and up arrow key again. VLAN 10. Okay, exit. Well, let's do end and show VLAN brief. Now what happened if you look at this right here? Notice that the port 1 all the way through port 20 are now assigned to VLAN 10, or they are reserved for VLAN 10. So if you connect any network device or any computer to any one of these ports right here, it will become part of the VLAN 10. Okay, now we need to do the same thing for VLAN 20 because we have not reserved port for that yet. So comp T interface port 21 through 24. Oh, interface range 0/21 through 24. Okay, alright, and we want to use a command called switch port mode access, then switch port access VLAN what? Now VLAN 20, because we said right here we're going to reserve port 21 through 24 for VLAN 20. So we say switch port access VLAN 20. Press enter, and to get to the privilege mode, show VLAN brief. Okay, notice that now port 21 through 24 are assigned to VLAN 20. Okay, alright, show run. Let's look at, see, each port right here belong to VLAN 10, VLAN 10, VLAN 10, and all the way till port 20. Here you go, 21 belong to port 20. Belong to VLAN 20. Port 22 belong to VLAN 20. Port 23 belong to VLAN 20. This right here we call it the access port. Okay, the terms right here. Assign access port to VLAN. Alright, we're done with that one. Now let's do the same thing for the switch number 2. Enter. I'm going to go pretty fast in here. Enable. Comp T VLAN 10 name business. Exit. VLAN 20 name sales. Exit. Interface VLAN 20. IP address 10.1.20.1 255.255.0 no shut exit interface range F01 through 20 switch port mode access switch port access what VLAN 20. Okay, get out of that interface range port 21 through 24, and we want to switch port mode access switch port access what VLAN 10. Okay, alright, and let's show VLAN brief. Notice that now the VLAN 10 is reserved port 21, 22, 23, 24 for it, and for VLAN 20 we reserve port 1 all the way through port 20. So again, if any network device will connect to this port right here, that device will become part of the VLAN 20. On the other hand, if any device is connected, or you connect any device to this port right here, it will become part of the VLAN 10. Okay, show run. Let's make sure. Okay, 20, 20, and 10, 10, and the IP address. Okay, and that's how you create a VLAN. Now next video I will show you how to connect this right here. Okay, alright, thank you.